I'm steering into a little different topic today. We'll call this teacher's choice because it was my choice. I guess I am the teacher. And the topic is remorse. And I chose this topic because something happened recently in a meditation, but I'll get to that in a bit. So in Buddhism, remorse is considered a wholesome and positive quality. And it is distinguished from guilt or shame, which is not considered wholesome and positive, because guilt and shame really are rooted in self and self-aversion. But remorse is different in Buddhism. It it reveals your conscience. It reveals that you care, that ethics matter to you, and most likely that you've developed some wisdom, some more wisdom. It's really a healthy response to ethical missteps. And don't we all have ethical missteps at times? And it supports ethical sensitivity and inner growth. I really like that term. I found that on the web. I love that term, ethical sensitivity, because that's really what we're developing, is becoming more sensitive in that way. I suspect that, like me, there are times, incidents that you remember when you wish you would have done something differently. You wish you would have done it better. Sometimes it takes time to really see it that way, to see the situation with new understanding. But it takes more than time. It takes humility. It takes a moral compass. It probably takes a lot of other things I can't think of right now. But again, that overwhelming or shame, it can just block remorse. It kind of puts a sheet, like a curtain that blocks the light over remorse. And remorse really develops with memory and reflection. Um, so when I see something from the past, I will likely, or maybe hopefully, regard it through what I have learned since that incident happened. Perhaps I can see how I might have done things more skillfully. Or maybe I really take in, really feel, really know deeply how my words and actions may have hurt myself or others. And that doesn't feel good. And that actually, that not feeling good can be, even though it doesn't feel good, it can lead to good things because it's a kind of knowing. So again, as our time ripens, our understanding can also develop. So here's the incident that happened in meditation, I guess in the last week. Um, my dad died 45 years ago, so this took a lot of time to develop. And he chose a very risky surgery because he was feeling so terrible. And he said, well, I'd rather die than go on like this. I'm willing to take the risk. Um, and it did kill him. The surgery did kill him. It took 10 days, but it did kill him. Um, but in this meditation, I felt really bad. I felt really bad. Like, what did I was obviously it was 45 years ago. It was a long time ago. And I was youngish. And I I just should have gone there. That's what was really clear in the meditation. I just should have flown across the country. And I don't know where I would have stayed, by the way. There was a lot of conditions that made it hard, but I should have made it work. But then I also saw all the conditions that led to me not being there. So it was complicated. But and of course, with death, you can't like make amends and you can't do a redo. It's done. Um, though in the meditation, I actually felt good. It felt not good like feel good, but felt right. Maybe that's the right word, to feel this remorse. And I was trying to like find words for why it felt good, and it the best I can get to is it sort of felt like it filled in a missing piece of the puzzle of my relationship with my father. And I have the experience and the view that these kinds of important relationships with people who've died develop even after their death because they develop for me in my inner world. So again, the passage of time permits us to step back, to see things differently, to integrate new awareness and knowledge. And obviously, my 45-year This was a long time. But the reflections after the meditation are a short time, like very soon after the meditation. We reflect always in our, or just about always, in our meditation events. And it's just a little bit of time that's passed. The bell's rung, the meditation's over, and then we reflect. But something, we can see things sometimes from a new perspective and integrate something new awarenesses. Um, so again, what is remorse from a Buddhist point of view? It's when you see the consequences of some kind of unwholesome actions, and actions include words, of course, that you've done. Again, you might see this more clearly in reflection. And again, discerning it from guilt. Um, which actually can be paralyzing. That's the other problem with guilt. You can't really take actions or make amends or do it differently. You're paralyzed. But in Buddhism, remorse is active and forward-looking. It invites wise action. So in Buddhist psychology, remorse is said to be closely related to two important factors, and together they're known as the guardians of the world, Lokapala Dhamma. They protect us from engaging in harmful actions by, the first one is an internal sense of conscience and discomfort. If something feels bad, that alerts us to something, something to look more closely at. The other is more external. We look outside our inner self and we see the harm that's been caused by our actions. And harm could be big harm or little harm. Um, Another way of looking at this topic is to not have remorse, is to be wed to your narrative. In the case of my father's death, my narrative probably, it was 45 years ago, who really knows, but it was something like, I'm living my own life and I've left home and I can do what I want to do. Something along those lines. By the way, what I was doing was going to Mexico and I want to go to Mexico. It's been planned for a long time. So really, to not have remorse is really to be unable to learn from life experiences, to not grow, to not have the humility to look at yourself and see things differently. Look at your life, see things differently. So my experience is that, and I think it's a common experience, hopefully it is, that as your one's practice deepens, that sensitivity to harm and suffering, one's own and others, grows. And that feeling remorse is really part of an honest and self-defensive relationship with ourselves. And remorse doesn't need to be a burden. It can be a doorway to wisdom. So I will end the talk there, and we'll go on to meditate. I want to welcome anyone that's new here today. We always